responsible for your life. And if you're sitting around waiting on somebody to save you, to fix you, to even help you, you are wasting your time, because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life forward. What matters is now, this moment, and your willingness to see this moment for what it is, accept it, forgive the past, take responsibility, and move forward. I came to realize that all the time I was praying to God, asking for God to do something, God was waiting on me. Know that there is not one single thing that has ever happened to you or will happen to you that will be wasted. If you look at every single crisis, difficulty, challenge, every joy-filled moment that comes into your being, everything is there showing up to make you more of who you were meant to be. Turn your wounds into wisdom. You will be wounded many times in your life. You'll make mistakes. Some people will call them failures. But I have learned that failure is really God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction. It's just an experience in life. If you can be still long enough in all of your endeavors, the good times, the hard times, to connect yourself to the source and allow the energy that is your personality, your life force, to be connected to the greater force, anything is possible for you. There's a surprise, because the losses are there to wake you up. We often hear the phrase, it's thrown around, so-and-so's doing so well at her new job. She's really come into her own. It's often used as a compliment, a way to express that someone has been successful. But to me, that definition of success is all about alignment. It's what Gary Zukov calls when the personality comes to serve the energy of the soul, where you are in alignment with what you really came to do on earth and using your personality to serve that. That's when you come alive. And that can look different for every single person, because coming into your own, that alignment is different from his own or her own or my own. But the common denominator is that it's all about alignment. And I learned at a very young age that if things are to move forward in my life, I was the one who had to take responsibility for what Mary Oliver calls our one wild and precious life. The greatest thing that I've ever done is having a gratitude journal. So I started one over 20 years ago, and every day for years now, I write down 5 things that I am grateful for. I believe you got to write them down, because there is power in the written word. And it can be anything, big or small. Some days those things will come easy, a chat with a close friend, or taking a walk in the crisp fall air, having a loved one cook you a dinner or bring you a cup of tea. Some days it might be difficult to even think of anything, and that's completely normal. And when things don't easily come to mind, go back to your breath, because if you're breathing, you ought to be grateful. Know that you have that, and simply opening your eyes in the morning and having that breath is a gift. So here are a stack of just a few of my gratitude journals over the years. I think it's time for us all to think about refreshing ourselves in a way that allows us to keep what matters most, turn over what we're ready to let go of, and make room for the new in our world, in our lives. So I don't know about you all, but I am forever changed by all of these months away from the bustle of the world. And I will forevermore carefully choose what has to have my attention and what does not, because I've learned a lot of things do not. So when we hit that little refresh button on our computers, or phones, it updates everything so quickly and just like that, so simple. Sometimes it's even automated, so there's not even any thinking about it. A refresh, though, in real life, as we know, takes effort, it takes time, it takes patience. So be kind to yourself during these days. Check in, be still until you can hear and feel the answers you need for moving forward. I think it's time for us all to think about refreshing ourselves in a way that allows us to keep what matters most, turn over what we're ready to let go of, and make room for the new in our world, in our lives. So I don't know about you all, but I am forever changed by all of these months away from the bustle of the world. And I will forevermore carefully choose what has to have my attention and what does not, because I've learned a lot of things do not. So when we hit that little refresh button on our computers or phones, it updates everything so quickly and just like that, so simple. Sometimes it's even automated, so there's not even any thinking about it. A refresh, though, in real life, as we know, takes effort, it takes time, it takes patience. So be kind to yourself during these days. Check in, be still until you can hear and feel the answers you need for moving forward. When people say you reap what you sow, it's usually to warn that whatever negativity you put out in the world is always going to come back to bite you. But the flip side to this sentiment, which we rarely focus on, is that planting a seed of positivity will make your life flourish. And this old saying isn't just about how you treat other people, but it's also about how you treat yourself. And I'm a firm believer that whatever you focus on grows, even especially the thoughts and the feelings you have about yourself and your world. What would happen if every time you think, wow, I was so stupid, you also write down one example of a time you actually made yourself proud? Our lives have been shaken up and shifted, to say the least, which has made a lot of us uncertain of what is on the horizon. When will we go back to the office full time? What is that going to require of me? How long will we be wearing masks? How long will we be fighting about masks? When will all of this be over? And it really is completely natural to not have all of the answers. So one thing I do know for sure is that we all have to let go of knowing, of having complete control and being able to ready ourselves to navigate waves of change as they come. But how do we do that? What to do about all those toxic people that you may be around over the holidays? Well, let me remind you, let me empower you, actually, to remember that you're not only responsible for the energy that you bring into a space, but you're responsible for the energy that you surround yourself with.